Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 10, episode 9. We're
Hmm.
still in Mexico. We're going to be in Mexico for the rest of the fucking
You
season.
know what? I'm not mad
Kidding.
about it because I
Me
realized
neither.
this is, like when everybody's together, we just can whip through the storyline a lot faster and we cut out the bullshit.
That's true. Okay, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, which is also live, and we have One Season Wonders. Rate, review, subscribe. We did get a new review. It's the 2-star one we discussed.
Oh,
So it is 2 stars and it's from Glit. And there's a lot of eyes. Glit. So Glit says it's titled and it says they seem very immature with their opinions. And if you're watching this show, you're kind of already immature enough. And also, we're literally 14. I don't know why you would listen to two 14-year-olds host a podcast. So
actually, that'd be so funny. Can you imagine if your child at 14 started a podcast and you had no idea?
feel like all these weird adults are listening.
Yeah.
That's us. Our parents don't know.
I'm gonna take this to my therapist and we'll discuss.
I don't really care. I've never claimed to be mature. I was just telling Meredith I don't like big words. So
That's not that is unrelated.
that's
But
exactly what I said.
Um, yeah, okay. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for your unneeded opinion.
I'm cool with
Whatever.
if this is immature, I'm actually really cool with it.
I would like to know what your mature Vanderpump Rules podcast recommendation would be.
Ooh, yeah, let me
Is
know.
there one? Because it's not Brav Bros. I
What's
listened to
what's the
that one.
highbrow
Yeah.
podcast to go listen to?
Yeah, for the low end. For the Walmart version. What's your like designer podcast? Asshole. Whatever. I'm just kidding. Like, take whatever you want. But we hope you just because it's like immature doesn't mean you don't have to listen.
Yeah,
Also, thank you for giving us at least 2 stars.
agreed. That actually, I was wondering if you were going to be happy about that.
Yeah, fucking whatever. Okay, what am I doing next? Go to our Instagram and follow it at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all our pre-shows where Meredith and I this time discussed the Watch What Happens Live with Schwartz, which was fun for all except for him, probably. And then also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. It was dropped on the Patreon first. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you'll get access to our after shows when we go back and watch old seasons. That's never going to happen because they keep putting out new seasons, and now they've already started filming like new season Vanderpump. We're never going to go back and watch old seasons until we're
You're
like
stuck with us until like 2030.
someone from Vanderpump. They all need to die, and then we can
It's honestly,
start.
I think we just have 5, 6, 7, which is actually a lot now that I think about it.
There, because these were the seasons that were like 26
Really
episodes.
long. Yeah.
Oh, rough. Okay, so also for $2 a month, we will say your name on the podcast. So everyone bear with me as this list has gotten long and I can't pronounce names correctly. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha. I
Mm-hmm.
got it. Ooh, Aisha, look at me. Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelly, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Ruby, Taylor, and Tiffany.
Woohoo.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
It's so much more fun in a live season. Like to be like, let's
It
go.
is because live season comes and we just go, Jackie, and then we
Yeah.
end it. Okay. Now what? What do I want to do? Oh, I gotta do. We still have more Patreon. For $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, which is now, which is today, which is this
Mm-hmm.
episode, I will post in the Patreon and ask you for your thoughts, questions, concerns, opinions, and we will read them no matter what on the podcast. Um, and yeah, so do that, post on that, do $5. Also we'll pick
Woohoo.
a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode, I'm coming unprepared, but I think I know who I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Kelsey, because Kelsey's an avid participant in Vanderpump Rules and Summer House postings. She did them both this week, which is a lot because even I barely got through it. And I do this for a side hustle. So
it kind of was a busy week. Like it was Summer House at its best, which is actually still sad.
I want to warn everyone coming up the next 2 weeks. Meredith and I are basically doing, we're going out of town, so we don't have a lot of time. Yeah. So we're gonna watch the show and immediately record. So we might miss some of your postings. I'll warn. I'll post and I'll warn.
But we'll catch back up for the next episode.
We'll catch back up. But I also want to know I'm not going to keep pausing and typing and getting every little detail because I tried practicing this week to like not pause. It was a little rough, but I just want to warn everyone, just stick with us the next 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. It's wedding season.
Our timeline girly gets everything. Alicia pre-games the show. I post-game the show.
Yeah. And we don't have time to do either this week. So
no. Well, I will post-game. I will post it.
I can barely pregame it, but Meredith's going to help me out by taking a lot of notes. We're going to do it. Yay. Okay. Thanks so much. So don't pull your Patreon thing if we don't read it next week.
Yeah. Sorry.
We will follow up. Okay. Speaking of, we have some thoughts from last week's episode from Dustin. He says he thinks James was half serious when he asked Lala if he should propose to Allie in Mexico, but I totally think Lala told him it was a good idea. He would totally do it. Yeah, if Lala was like totally proposed, James would do it.
I agree.
No one can convince me that Allie likes James. Like watching it this episode, I was cracking up. This girl does not really like him. But like I don't think is using him either.
I agree.
They're just like
I just dating. Don't think, you know how Lala talks about like being in his whirlwind? I just don't think she gets caught up in her like charm as much as like Raquel did over the and it's a slow build, so maybe we'll see it at some point, but
I think it's the differences, right? He is, and we've seen him obsessed with Lala and Raquel, but he is so obsessed with Allie, like so obsessed that I think she's just kind of like, whatever. She's funny. It's funny to me. Like I think it's hilarious.
I did not think I would really love her as much as I do.
Dustin also says he's been great TV. Every time Raquel is around, he's like a manic mess. It's funny. I think he's either not over Raquel or B, he's just upset she's fucking there, that he like needs to spiral.
I don't think he wants to be with her, but I think it takes a long time for your ex not to bother you, especially someone you like an ex like this level,
especially an ex who's friends with all your friends and you introduce them and now you're feeling like you're not a friend.
Typically you would separate and have that time and space away, but James hasn't had it, so I think it's going to be a lot harder to like withdraw all the emotions.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Okay, one more thought. That quote unquote art installation in Schwartz and Sandy's bar is so ludicrously dumb. I can't even. I agree. I think it's the dumbest like $50,000 they've ever spent.
They spent $50,000.
I don't know. I made that up. But I mean, they're putting in $500,000.
You know what? I've learned a lot about them making terrible choices. Oh, that's something we didn't address on the pre-show though. Schwartz saying like Sandoval's actions do affect his other business ventures. And it's true. It's like true. When you build your whole brand on the fan base, you got to take in like whatever the public opinion is at the moment.
I agree. Okay, so let's get into the episode. Sorry, let me just click on all my tabs. Okay, so previously on Vanderpump Rules, we're in Mexico for Scheana's wedding. Katie's room got moved because of Scheana, which is so fucking funny. Raquel and Schwartz are flirting. Lala doesn't want to be in an enclosed space with Raquel. James feels left out and that his friends are picking Raquel over him. Ariana and James got into a fight about James getting into a fight, and Allie walked off at Scheana's first welcome dinner.
There's so many freaking events at this wedding.
I get this, right? Everyone flew in a few days early, so you have to take them out to dinner, but it's not your official, like, because not everyone's there yet. I do get it. I have some hot takes, I feel like. So
I can't wait.
Okay, so we're in Mexico. Allie walked off because James is like
at the first welcome dinner, the unofficial.
The first one. The unofficial welcome dinner because Ariana literally snapped at James, rightfully so, and James is
Yes.
being a psycho. So Allie walks off. And then at dinner, they're talking about how Allie's upset because she's not used to all this confrontation. And Sandoval gives us the sometimes having real power is having the power to do something and not doing it.
Oh, that's weird because
It's
shouldn't you
super
be doing that
weird.
right now with
It's
your stupid
super
little affair?
it's super weird. This is the first instance, and I have other instances, but this is the first one of throwing stones in glass houses. This is the first one.
Yes. And not even like
A
before
boulder.
earlier in the episode or earlier in the season, it's like, okay, we're just like taking comments before he started the affair, before anything happened, and like using them against him. Now it's like you're legit doing this. You are in your glass house now.
Yeah, yeah. Like also, this is an off-brand Spider-Man quote. The quote is with great power comes great responsibility. But James gives us the with great power comes great response, so fuck off. Crack me up. But honestly, it's like Uncle Ben from Spider-Man. Okay, so Lala tells James that she doesn't want him to react that way. And Allie says in her interview, because she's like, we get a shot of her still walking off. The camera is just like following behind. Allie says in her interview, when it comes to conflict, she gets up and leaves. And seeing James like that is not cute. Which
Good.
it's not. I'd be like
No.
horrified. So then we go to dinner with the Bubbas because I don't know what else to call this. So that just has to be it.
Well, especially when he walks
Oh
up
my
to the
God.
hostess and he's like, for the Bubs. And this hostess is like, I'm sorry, what?
This someone said like this is a scene out of White Lotus. And I was like, yeah, no, honestly. Fucking because okay, so
My
he walks
God.
in, he's like in his slides and a suit, and he's like, hey, I have a reservation for Bubba. You know, that's me and my ex-wife and like Bubba's, but we call each other Bub because it's platonic. And this Mexican man does not give a fuck.
No,
He's
I
like,
now want
okay,
this like idea in this type of situation written into White Lotus 3. I want a divorced
yeah,
couple doing like a
dinner.
divorce moon.
Yeah. I also would love, okay, just an idea. We should have gotten Vladimir the waiter as like an interview to talk about how horrible his dinner was.
Even just
I would have,
like the office style,
yeah, like they
just
just kick him
against a
to the
wall.
side. They're like, how do you feel? And he's like, this was awful.
Or
And
like
in Spanish, he just rants about it.
or even like honestly, production should have got him mic'd up and like talking to someone else if they didn't want like confessional
Yes,
style.
like the
give us
kitchen
his
guys,
perspective.
like the Sir
Yes.
Kitchen guys. Yeah.
Yes.
So Schwartz, whatever, he tells the waiter that they're celebrating getting divorced,
God.
and he goes, "Oh,
No, he goes,
nice."
we're celebrating. And the guy goes, what are we
Yeah,
celebrating?
what are we celebrating? And he
They're
goes, well, we got divorced. And the waiter, Vladimir's like, oh, nice.
He was like, what the fuck did I walk into?
So yeah, Katie's here. I don't know if I mentioned that, but she
Yeah.
looks hot. She sits down. These two, whatever, it's romantic vibes. This is like his first time trying to be this romantic ever, but like she's not gonna fall for it because literally it's been 12 years.
This is like weird vibes. I understand like the intent behind this dinner, but this is gonna be awkward no matter what because of the situation. But this is like very awkward.
I get being friends with like an ex that you have kids or dogs, I guess, with or whatever, but you should not. You should just be civil. It does not have to be like this.
No.
I do get a divorce dinner. We're trying to be civil, whatever.
Yes, to like cap it off. Like this is the end.
Then you have to agree.
Nice dinner together.
We are not going to talk about anything that we will fight about. We're not trying to work through anything. We could, you know what they should do is like good times in our house. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Like stuff like that. Not like, well, you're hanging out with Scheana, who I hate. And then Schwartz being like, you hate her because you're a bitch. Like it wasn't gonna go.
Why are we talking about hot button issues?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I felt like this could have been so much better if one of them, even if when things come up, just be like, let's not talk about that.
We're not talking about that. Okay, they do both order the surf and turf, and I was like, wow, divorce is expensive. Whatever. They cheers to closing their house, and Tom, he like interrupts with his phone and his pants being too tight. And then they like cheers to maintaining a friendship. And then he goes off about how he hates suits and his dick, he doesn't even know where his dick is. And I was like, sir, she's literally just trying to do a nice cheers. And it always has to come back to you and your uncomfortableness.
This is where I realized no matter what, Schwartz will operate in his own space, and it doesn't matter what Katie is doing or whatever, but like he doesn't care.
No, it was that same vibe of Katie's trying to talk to him and he keeps saying hi to people. And it was like,
Yes. And then
just
blamed
stop and
her.
listen. Yeah, just listen. So Schwartz tells Kaylee that, or whoops, Schwartz tells Katie he feels guilty for missing Scheana's dinner. And this is the first time to be like,
Let's not, we
not do this.
have differing opinions on this. Like, and I thought they might have, like, it was a pretty, like, standard just comment. Yeah, to be like, yeah, there is something going on that I'm missing. And Katie, I think, also could have just been like, that's okay. Like, let's just not discuss it.
Thanks
like,
for
we're
coming
here
to
and
dinner.
now.
Yeah. So then we do go to Scheana's dinner. Lala says she doesn't want to fight with James. James apologizes to Ariana, says he won't disrespect her again. And then they talk about how Lala's right nipple is a little lower. And then
I
James
was
and
shocked
Ariana
that
hug.
this went so smoothly. This, like,
I feel
I'm
like
shocked James apologized.
I feel like Allie has such an upper hand on James, opposed to like Raquel having the lower hand, that when Allie walks off, James is like, fuck, like she's gonna be mad and I don't want that. Yeah.
I also think like he just has grown as a person overall.
Yeah. And
in
being
his
sober
earlier sobriety. Helps. Yeah. I think he can like see things a little bit more clearly.
Yeah. Okay, back to Bubba's dinner. Katie says she feels bad now because she's not trying to steal Schwartz away. And Schwartz is like, nah, no worried. It's actually funny that like now we're divorced, I'm more inclined to defend you. And I was like, sir, just holy, you just shot your foot.
Room.
Like literally,
this is the crux of your divorce. And now you're like making a joke of it.
And Katie's literally like, no, you're not. Remember last weekend at this pool party, right? And then Katie says, even if she's just like, I'm your wife, can you defend me? Like, you still don't do it. And Schwartz is like, well, you abuse that card.
It's not a card.
Sir, it's your wife.
It's not a card. It's called a commitment that she should be like your priority, not these stupid friendships. Even if we talk about this all the time. Even if you don't agree. Yes, that like in public, you should kind of always have your significant other's back, or at least just be neutral on the topic. And then in private, give them like your commentary.
Yeah, if anything, just de-escalate the situation. Yes. Whether that be agreeing with your wife, whether that be agreeing, it doesn't matter, but be like, yo, you guys, this is not appropriate. Let's stop, whatever. It's not appropriate to then escalate and fight, right?
Yeah.
And then tell her she's abusing the wife card. No, we have vowed our lives together.
Because here's the thing, is like, if we're going to talk about this like it's a freaking card game, she, in theory, plays the card and he just rips it in half.
Yeah, he's not playing the game.
No, she doesn't get to actually play it and get anything out of it.
No, he just ends it. So then, he says that he was a great fucking husband.
No, he said this on Watch What Happens Live too, and I
literally wrote, did I watch a different show? I'm not going to say the D or the S word, but
I want him to be... the next time he says this, I need whatever the interviewer is to be like, okay, give me
one
examples.
Give me a time we saw. One time
because I think everybody gets their own perspective. So I'm more curious on like what Schwartz thinks being a good husband is.
Did you see that clip from like a few years ago, the Watch What Happens Live, where Tom and Katie went together and Tom was like, I'm a good husband. And this caller was like, Katie, you need to leave him because he like gives you a ring on the string. B, he cheats on you. C, like literally listed
all the things he's done to make him not a good husband.
Before and they were even really into their marriage.
Like, and he was just laughing.
Yeah, and Katie was like, and I was like, Katie, girl, you should run.
Katie did a good job of like not saying anything and like dissing her husband in front of. She did the thing being a good partner is.
Whereas if it was reversed, right, and someone was like, Katie's a bitch, she does this, Schwartz would be like, yeah, you're right.
She does like instigate people. Yeah. Like, yeah, he would add out his own commentary onto it.
Okay, so Katie's like, I'm sorry, what have you ever done to defend me? And Schwartz is like, he didn't, because she started to abuse that power of the wife card. And in her interview, they asked Katie, like, has she ever tried to figure out why Schwartz will never take her side? And she says the most heartbreaking thing. And she's like, the only thing I can think of is like, he doesn't like me. Like, he loves me, but he doesn't like me.
I think that's it. Like,
it is. He doesn't
somebody
like
always sits in a higher position. He probably deems like wife, okay, that's a separate thing, but friend wise, in the way he operates within his relationships, everybody is like higher priority to him than Katie.
Yeah, I think it's also right. If you're married or in a long-term relationship with someone, I think people take those relationships for granted, right? It's you don't water
Yeah.
it as much because you're like, we're in a relationship. You're not gonna leave. It's been 12
Yes.
years, so I'll just like keep doing my thing. Where it's like, then he's fostering these relationships with Scheana and with Brock, who he's not that close with.
Yeah, he's like
But he,
growing those relationships, so he has to
yeah,
like show his loyalty or
yeah, he
something.
has
Whereas
to like
like
shit on his wife to do that. And it's like both your plants can grow, but you're choosing one plant over the other.
that's one thing is like he, I feel like ends up showing his loyalty by throwing somebody under the bus or sacrificing someone else
Yeah.
rather than just keeping his relationships one to one. They always have to be moments where it involves multiple people.
Yeah. And he'll be like, see how much I love you? I'm going to denounce my wife.
Like he's actually the anti-Ariana.
Yeah. Ariana's great at riding that middle.
Yeah.
But she'll call
Schwartz
Tom out and be
can't.
like, I'm not going to do this.
Yep.
We're not going to do Tom versus the girls. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pissed. And we'll talk
But
about
she
it
wouldn't
later.
ever say like, Tom, you're so, and like start listing out all these
narcissistic, you asshole.
She would never do that. Like she's just saying, Tom, I'm not doing this.
She only did that one time when she called him obtuse, and that was awesome.
Loved.
That was the best. I can't wait. Actually, that is the episode I want to go back and watch because that is such a good one.
I can't wait for this reunion.
Okay, so Schwartz is still defending his decision to not defend Katie. And Katie's like, don't gaslight me. And then Schwartz is like, don't use that term. You love to say gaslight. And then Schwartz is like it's better if they don't talk that much. And Katie's like, oh, you don't want to be friends now? And Tom on his phone is like, I just mean right now. But we're on a one-on-one dinner. What are we gonna do? Just sit here and eat our surf and turf?
That's the thing is like maybe you should have gone into this dinner, like we said, with some like boundaries of talking
Ground
about
rules,
things.
yeah.
But we're at the point where we can't talk about anything at all because it's just gonna like always gear towards a fight. That's really sad. Then yeah, like you guys can't actually be friends even after this dinner. If you can't sit one-on-one at this dinner and be able to have
and
a civil
not talk about
time,
talk about the dogs, like literally anything.
Yes.
So I was like, dude, fuck this. Or
and
I was
get
like,
off your stupid phone.
Yeah, I'm like, Katie, you gotta fuck this dude right now. Like, not literally,
No,
like,
yeah.
fuck off right now.
Yeah.
Fuck him. And so now they're arguing because Schwartz is literally so rude. And then the waiter shows up.
Oh my God.
And it's
God.
This is the second time. It wasn't as heated the first time when he brought bread, but Vladimir now comes over and is like, here you go, Senorita Bubba. Gives her servant.
I was never so happy that he made the Bubba comments at the beginning of the dinner because this was worth it. Senorita Bubba, here's your dinner.
Here's your servant. And she is like dumbfounded. Like, what do we do?
Oh,
this was pure comedy. So I'm so sorry Katie ends up crying, but this was so worth it. Was so fucking funny. Yeah, so now Katie's crying over her surf and turf. And Tom is like, no, Bubba, don't be sad. Don't be sad, Bubba.
It's
and
weird because he doesn't associate like her getting upset or like how like she will like because with your emotions, you obviously slowly build them up. He doesn't think about that. So the minute Katie does like start to present emotions, he flips and he always is like more sympathetic towards it, but he can't see it as it's building.
He can't see it as it's building. He can't take accountability that he caused this.
No.
He can't apologize. He's just like, don't be sad.
Like he loves her, so he doesn't want her to be sad, but he doesn't like her to not make her sad.
Yeah, exactly. So Katie's upset that all these people are great friends to Schwartz, but two people who have been awful to her, like he's still friends with that. And I think like now as a divorced couple, Schwartz, whatever, can be friends with awful people. I get what she's saying, but I also think it's like a tidbit of James where it's like you have the whole group backing you and I look like the bitch season after season. I mean, I went through a fuck Katie phase too. And I was like, fuck this girl. But it is Schwartz. He is like manipulating the situation to be a man child.
And not only are they like backing him, but he's fueling the fire for them to hate her.
Yeah.
Like you can love someone without hating the other party, but he is fueling and helping them dislike her.
Yeah. Only to make his own stock go higher.
Yes. It's like, this doesn't have to be a game. It's not me versus you.
Yeah. So Katie's visibly so upset. And then Schwartz tells Katie that she's actually the provocateur.
Which
wouldn't if someone said this to me, I'd literally be like, okay, you fuck.
I would want to punch him in the face
Provocateur.
even more at this moment.
First of all, you sound like an ass when
This
you
is
say
a moment
that.
where like he's using a fancy word.
What does that even fucking mean? Provocateur.
Why can't he just say you provoke
Instigator.
it?
You provoke it. So Katie gets up, rightfully so, and leaves. I think she made a mistake. She should have taken that plate.
I thought the same thing.
I'm out.
Don't leave dinner
been like,
behind.
Vladimir, charge him for the plate. I'm fucking out.
I would have taken, because usually at those resorts sometimes, like they can get that plate back to the right place.
Yeah,
like
I'll bring the plate back.
I would have gotten up, taken my whole entire meal and left.
Taken the surf and turf and been like, you enjoy that bill. And then the waiter comes, the food's still sitting there. And Vladimir comes over. He's like, should I take the food? And Schwartz is like, I think she just went to the bathroom, but Vladimir takes it and it's like,
because Vladimir
he knows
sense and reason and understands that chick just straight up strutted out of this restaurant. She's not coming back.
Vladimir's a lady killer. He knows women, unlike Schwartz. I hope he also just brought Katie the food and was like, Senorita Bubba, do you want this?
Yeah.
I took it for you. Okay, so super embarrassing. Let's go back to Scheana's dinner. We spent a lot of time on that, but it was so deep and so many levels.
Disaster.
Okay, so Scheana's dinner, James is like, hey, when Allie comes back, can we all agree to calm down? And then Brock walks Allie back in. I don't know where Brock was, but
I know. I thought that was weird that Brock was with her.
Are they hooking up? No, I'm just kidding. That's a rumor. Don't
Brock just trying to get in any scene at this point. He's like,
Brock's
I'll go get Allie.
Hey, if I bring you back, because it's technically my wedding and I'm not in any of the scenes, I could like get camera time.
He's like, I know they'll use this, so let me go get.
Let me walk you back, girl. Okay, so they're getting a round of drinks. Surprisingly, Christina Kelly is kind of the diffuser, right? She's like, Allie, do you want a drink? Like, we're so happy you're back.
Yeah.
Scheana comes over and then invites Allie to go on this boat that's going to be like a bachelorette kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And James is like, Lala, are you gonna go? Like, Scheana's talking to Allie. So James turns to Lala and is like, are you gonna go? And Lala's like, I don't know, I'm gonna see how tonight goes. And James turns to Scheana and goes, Lala doesn't want to go.
I was like, James, that is not what she said. And also, like, why are you so excited to like throw someone else under the bus?
He is like, Brock got too much screen time. Back to me.
Yeah.
Lala doesn't want to fucking go, Scheana. So Scheana is like upset. And she's like, Lala, it's a group event. Like, there are going to be 20 people.
Yeah.
And Lala's like, I just want to be safe. So Scheana's like pissed now. She's like, do whatever. I'm like leaving. Oh. And I get why she's pissed, right? Because Lala said, I don't want to be in small enclosed spaces.
Yes.
This is big. There's 20 people. I've told you about the boat. We're here for my wedding.
A boat is also stranded from an exit. You do not have an exit plan.
What I think Scheana then should do is be like, Raquel, we're not going to start shit with Lala. Stay away. Lala, we're not going to, like, it should be even to be like, both of you stay away from each other. You both get stranded on an island and you can figure your way home.
Yeah.
Like when parents are like, drop two kids off.
It was presented to her, obviously, was part of the nail in the coffin. And then like what she was saying, because we do get a flashback at some point and like Lala said she would do the boat. And so
she told Brock and Scheana.
Yeah, this is a little tricky. I understand wanting to just like not be around, not want to cause a fight. And like, there is a lot of wedding stuff.
But I understand Scheana, right? Like this is technically her bachelorette party. Like you've told me you're gonna go and this is my wedding. Yeah, okay. So Scheana is heading back to her room. She's like, I'm not gonna go out tonight. Ariana's like, dude, like, please, Scheana, like begging her. And Sheena's like, no, fuck this, which is a little dramatic. But I also get when you're just so mad, you're like, I just need to excuse myself. I'm not being around it. So Ariana turns to James and is like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what? God. And Lala's pissed. And she's like, of course I didn't tell Scheana yet. I was going to sit her down and talk to her.
Yeah.
Like
and make it a discussion kind of.
Yeah. So this was right. Lala goes after Scheana and Brock. And Lala's like, listen, I just want the energy to be good. I don't know if the energy is going to be good if I go. Yeah. And I like how Brock correctly stands up for his wife, unlike Schwartz, and is like, listen, he just says, here's how it looks, right? where there's someone here that Scheana doesn't want at her wedding, and you're gonna actively hang out with her instead of going to like our wedding things when we're here for our wedding. Like we're not here for Katie. And Sheena's just like, for example, you brought Christina Kelly to my dinner and I'm not friends with her. I don't like her, which we both said was like a crazy ass move. But like,
but now realizing that like Lala says like she didn't know this was a wedding dinner. It was more of a casual welcome party. Because we're all here a day early, let's all get dinner. So I'm like, all right, bringing Christina Kelly isn't that much of a slight anymore.
But you still see you see the miscommunication with Scheana.
Exactly. And it feels like
it's like if someone brings someone you don't like to your like big birthday bash, it's like, I might not see them, but like, why are they here?
Yeah, it's like, so what are you doing here? It's supposed to be about me.
Yeah, and Sheena's like, you should have just asked or whatever. So Scheana and Brock both tell Lala, like, we're not here for Katie. We're here for the wedding. And if you're not going to be here for the wedding, like, let us know now. Mm-hmm. And I think Lala, like, she doesn't want to be stuck at sea with Raquel, but she can see like where Sheena's coming from. And I do
the importance of her going to this event.
It's like your friend you were talking about that's like getting married and the bridesmaids aren't like helping her out. Yeah. It's probably more extreme, but I can see where Sheena's hurt on like, you told me you were going to do this. I want to celebrate with one of my best friends. And now you're going to go hang out with Katie, who's just going to shit talk me the whole time. Mm-hmm. So Lala does apologize. She's like, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. And she's going to go on the boat, which I think is a good decision.
I think always Scheana explaining how important these events are to her, Lala will always go to them then.
Yes.
If Scheana agrees that, okay, the vibes are going to be off, so I understand why you're backing out and they're in agreement over that, then Lala won't feel bad about missing it and Scheana will be like fine with her missing it.
Also, Lala, it's okay. You weren't at the first one. Okay. Now, James, he was at both. Like, that's a lot.
Yep.
Okay. So then we go to Katie's hotel room. She texts Christina Kelly. I fucking hate him. And Christina Kelly goes, oh no, what happened? And Katie goes, he's a dick. Can you meet me in the room? And Christina Kelly's like, yeah, I'll be right up. But then we cut to the Bubba's dinner and Schwartz is at dinner alone and he tries calling Katie and Katie answers and she's like, what? And he's like, Bubba, do you want to come back? And she just hangs up on him.
He doesn't get it. Like he does not get it at all.
No, he should have been like, I'm sorry. Bubba, I'm sorry. And she would have been like,
I think really did think she was going to come back.
I think he thought she was like literally in the bathroom to wipe her tears.
Yeah, like she was going to storm out and then come back because her dinner was sitting there. Her taking her plate would have really told him, I'm not coming back.
It would have been just so funny to pick it up with the silverware and be like, I hope Vladimir charges you.
Even just like get that steak on a fork and walk out.
Oh my God, that would have been so badass. Katie was obviously emotionally distraught. She wouldn't think to do that. But me,
food is a priority, so I would have thought about it.
Yeah, I would have probably put up with the dinner just until I finished the surf and turf and then been like,
I would have been like, Vladimir, a box, thank you, scooped it in, and then done my dramatic exit, which isn't as dramatic. But
I wouldn't want to give him the knowledge that I'm leaving, though. I would want to just walk out. Like,
I guess Vladimir you could walk your plate to the back, dump it in a box, walk out.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have taken the plate and been like, Vladimir, send me a box outside. I got to get out.
Put the plate on.
Put it on his tab.
Yeah.
So then we go to Katie and Christina Kelly's hotel room. Christina Kelly's now here. I don't know if this was my favorite scene. This episode was so good with like awkward award-winning scenes.
This one was just unreal.
This was so funny. So Katie tells Christina Kelly about how the dinner started good, but he wants to defend everyone but her. And Christina's like, see, this is why you aren't with him. And then there's a knock at the door. And you can tell it's so unexpected because both Katie and Christina Kelly are like, what the fuck?
Their heads like jerk. Like when you're kind of scared.
They're like, who would that be? And so they get up and Christina Kelly's about to open it. And Katie's like, no, wait. No. And she like looks through the peephole. I think she thought
I get this because you're like, why are we? Well, it's so unexpected. You're like, we're not just opening the door. We need to mentally prepare for whoever's coming in.
So they look through the peephole and she's like, it's Raquel. And they're like, why the fuck's Raquel
I was so confused. I was like, did she go to the wrong room? But no, Katie is so far away.
She got lost. Okay, so the door opens. Katie's like, hey. And Raquel's like, can I come in for a quick second? And Katie's like, no, why? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And Raquel's like,
come into my room.
Okay, like I'm happy to explain it in the hallway, but Scheana wanted me to come by. And so Katie's like, okay, just come in. So they all go back inside. And Katie's just like, this is my worst day ever. Like, why is Raquel in my room?
Get out of my fucking room.
Raquel's like, I'm not even gonna sit down because that's how fast this is gonna be.
Oh, girly.
So Scheana told Raquel to let Katie know that because Katie didn't book a preferred room, Katie can't use the preferred pool. And Scheana
which I think seems where the wedding is going to basically be.
Yeah. And like, look, Scheana did make like a joke of like, who's gonna tell Katie she can't come? And Scheana did say this in her interview. I don't think she said, Raquel, go to Kate, do it right now to Katie's room. I think Raquel was just like, no one else is gonna do it. Here I go.
I think this is one of those things that like somebody says they want. Do I think Scheana wanted Katie to be told this? Absolutely. Do I think she was gonna force somebody to go do it? No. And like Raquel just took it on upon herself to actually go do it. But if this
Raquel's like, I hate
never
Katie.
happened, Scheana wouldn't be like, I can't believe somebody didn't go tell Katie.
No, Scheana would have been like, I'd never meant it. I don't really care. But Raquel was like, time for my screen time because I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat this up.
And this is something she can prepare, and so she thinks it's gonna go like incredibly.
She wrote and memorized the script already. So Scheana just doesn't want Katie around that area when it's wedding festivities. And Christina Kelly and Katie both cannot help but fucking die laughing.
Well, it's just such a stupid conversation. Like, you don't own this restaurant or this hotel.
No, also, isn't it funny? Raquel's like, hey, don't do something. Fuck you, Raquel.
Yes.
Don't sleep with someone else's boyfriend. So Christina Kelly's like, is this me too or just Katie? And Raquel's like,
valid question.
It's also you. And then Christina Kelly, I thought was very big. She's like, I would love to have a conversation with Scheana and hear her out. Like, I'd love to sit down. And then Katie's like, I'm so pissed at Scheana. Like, don't fucking talk to her, Christina Kelly. Like, you don't need to do that. And I think Christina's like, I feel
Christina's
nothing.
like thinking long term, like, okay, I don't know what, like, if like why we have real beef here. So like, I think at some point.
Yeah, I think Christina also was like, fuck, maybe Scheana, because it's always kind of embarrassing when you go somewhere and you realize like you weren't invited. And I think Christina also might be like, fuck, I crashed her like weird dinner.
Yeah. Then like,
so like,
I want to let you know, like, there's no harm. Like, Christina's thinking about just the
I'm
situation
not here
holistically.
To make fun of you. Yeah. Katie's like, I am.
Yes. She's like, I understand why you're pissed at Katie and everything happening, but know that I am not here to further that. Like, I'm just here because it's a free trip.
Katie was clearly so pissed. She's like letting all her anger out. Christina Kelly, per usual, is the perfect adult in this scenario.
The only adult.
So yeah, Katie's like, don't go talk to her. Like, that'd be so horrible. And Raquel's just like, so are you gonna do it anyways? And Katie's like, yeah, or well, first Christina Kelly's like, we're not gonna go to the preferred swim up pool or whatever.
Well, because Raquel's like, it's the one with the swim up bar. Yeah, you were confused.
You can't do that. And so Christina Kelly's like, we're not gonna go. And Katie goes, or I might be too drunk and not realize that I'm swimming up. I might do it. And Christina's just like, get her out of our room. Just get her out of our room. And this is where I was like, I understand Katie's pissed, but it's not a good look, but also it's funny because I get it.
Raquel doing this, I feel like, is actually making Katie
more mad.
More like, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah. I appreciate Christina Kelly being like, I'm pregnant, I'm not gonna go. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm pregnant, it's gonna be a no. But honestly, like, ask Katie, we're at a freaking hotel. You're gonna tell me I can't go somewhere?
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we want.
The entire time we were at this resort for the next 4 days, I cannot go to that pool once.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we want, girl.
Like, why Raquel, just show up and say, hey, can you just avoid the wedding things? Like, listen,
if we're there for the wedding, if we're there for the wedding, please don't come.
Yeah, like, can you just try to keep your space?
I even think Scheana should have had this conversation with Katie. Yeah. But if Scheana was just like, these are the times we're gonna be here, could you avoid those times? Yeah. Like, these are the times we're gonna leave. We're going on a boat and shit. Do whatever you want then. Okay, so now we're at a club at 1:07 a.m. Lala and Scheana seem fine. I'm impressed Lala's still here. Raquel and Ariana hug because I'm on full alert for any Scandival content. God. Raquel tells Scheana she went to Katie's room to tell her, and Sheena's like, you did what? But Sheena's not mad it was done. She wouldn't have been indifferent if this gets done or not.
Exactly.
So she was like, whatever.
She was just like blowing off steam when she said it. Again, in her heart of hearts, yeah, did she want Katie to be told she can't be at a pool? Of course, but what that didn't mean to beeline it to her opposite tower to tell her.
Yeah, it is just not it. But Scheana's gonna go to bed. See you on the boat tomorrow. Hip hip hooray. Okay. What are we doing now? So we go to now it's Mexico 9 a.m. We're getting ready for all the activities. So Scheana's doing a boat with her bachelorettes, and James got invited to go to a day club with Brock and his Australian party friends.
This is gonna be a lot.
Brock gives me like rugby dude vibes.
Yeah.
So picture the whole rugby team at a day club with James
and scrawny little DJ White Kanye
with
James.
like kind of sober James, you know, like not hammered James.
Doesn't like Brock. Remember they had like kind of a falling out last season. Like they aren't really on the best of terms.
It's nice of Brock to invite James.
Yes, no, Brock should be, or James should be there, but it's like James doesn't really have an ally in this event, like also, a buddy to hang out with.
These dudes are ginormous. They're gonna drink and get drunk, but not be falling over. Like if I drank as much as they did, that would kill me.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get hammered. James has 3 shots and he's out for the count.
James to keep his girlfriend cannot be hammered.
No. So it's time to go to the boat. There's like 20 million girls here.
They're all in
white. Thank you, right? It was weird.
Yeah, but I slowly realized, because I remember when photos were coming out when this actually was happening in live, like real time, that even the welcome party, like everybody wears white. And so I think this is Scheana's second wedding. They're just
we're all virgins for this one.
For the fun of it, we're all in white. Like everybody knows who the bride is.
It is Scheana. Yeah. Oh, we know.
Even the world knows.
We go to the day club. The bros are here. There's like 40 fucking shots being poured at once. So
they're also wearing like all different, like the girls are all in white. The guys are all in these like Hawaiian shirt, different patterns, but nothing actually goes. Like, clearly everybody was told like, get a Hawaiian shirt of any kind.
Yeah, a button-up Hawaiian shirt. And also, did they all have matching Speedos, or were those different girls on each Speedo?
I couldn't tell that because I didn't want to look too closely.
Who was that woman? I couldn't tell anything.
Was it Brock? I think it's Brock.
That woman was Brock.
That woman was Brock.
I thought it was like a model of just like.
No, I think the face is Brock.
Oh, and that's funnier.
Did you notice this? Brock was wearing a lover boy
hat. I was like, that's the best part of this outfit. That's fun. You know what? I don't know how close Kyle and Brock are, but this is advertising. Kyle should start wearing a homebody shirt immediately.
What's funny is earlier in the winter, the Toms went to Winter House. Like if we're talking about a calendar year, like earlier in the year, they went to Winter House and wore a homebody. Somebody wore a homebody sweatshirt or shirt or something. Yeah. So I'm like, welcome to the Bravo game, Brock.
This was great. Good for Brock to like. It made me like Brock more that he was wearing a lover boy hat. It kind of makes
me want Scheana and Brock on Summer House.
You know what? They should go to Winter House. If Amanda and Kyle do have a kid, that's when Scheana and Brock should like step in and be like, we're gonna do play dates.
Kind of like
they should get pregnant at the same time.
Where in last season of Vanderpump, when they went to the Coachella thing, I think Scheana they went to something and Scheana and Lala stayed in a different house because of the kids. And so like they basically had like a babysitter nanny or something. And so they could still go do stuff.
That's when James proposed to Raquel on Sandoval's dime. Yeah, good times. Jesus. Good times. But I mean, Scheana and Brock are friends with Paige and Hannah, because they hung out at like a show that they did.
And Scheana and Brock went to Hannah's wedding.
Yeah. Like the Bravo sphere is crazy, but I love that. I would have never thought Kyle and Brock hang out, because Brock.
No, and like, especially at like your wedding. This isn't just like we went day drinking. Like this is going to be used.
Kyle's such a pussy. Brock would crush him with one hand. Compare the two, right? Kyle's like, my hair has to be done. And like, I have to put on a nice shirt. And Brock's like, I've been wearing the same underwear for 20 years because I'm a man.
But like, with social status, Brock needs anything. I feel like he is like trying to get the in of the Bravo sphere, not like shamelessly, like he's doing it decently.
He's doing it correctly.
Now.
Yeah, you gotta
now
forget.
That he's not the full front and center of this like season. I like it.
10 out of 10 for Brock. So Brock and Sandoval, They talk. Sandoval's so optimistic about Brock and Scheana's relationship. Not that he has good taste in relationships, obviously,
No.
because he can't even do his own. But Brock says, he could go out and see the world, but he still knows where he's coming home to. And I was like, that seems nice, but I don't get it. It's not linear to me.
Yeah. Oh
So we
God.
go to the pool. I think this is the preferred pool.
I
And
think so too.
Katie and Christina Kelly are hanging out. They got let in. They were on the list. So whatever. They go into the water. Katie's body is banging.
I
Holy
freaking love her.
shit,
This is the
this
moment where
girl's
I'm
so
like,
hot.
just do whatever you want to do. Just don't do it spitefully.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
keep some space. Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah. So then we go back to the boat. They're all partying. Scheana does this big thing to thank them. We go back to the day club. Everyone's in Speedos. James considers himself a man of the world. He's lived in London, in America, in Ibiza, and he still fucking hates these men. Like, this is not his vibe.
He was like, I've done it all, and this is all a lot to me right
This
now.
is not the vibe.
Yeah.
Also, like, he's just not a boy's boy, right? These men are like slapping asses and touching dicks and like, we're men. And James is like, I would love a martini if we have one. Like, he's like, I don't love
This
it.
ain't his vibe.
So then the Toms talk. Schwartz is checking out girls super creepily. He says it feels illegal. And Sandoval's like, it's not illegal. Ariana and I check out girls all the time. And guys, who cares? I'm like so comfortable in my fucking sexuality. I can check out anyone because I'm fucking hot.
I think that's healthy if you can just be honest and say like, oh, that person's hot. Like, yeah, outside of Sandoval, I think this is really healthy that Ariana and Sandoval like can objectively be like, yeah, that person looks good. But like,
they're
everything
doing it
he
to
says
Raquel.
is creepy though.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like
the idea of it is good, like, but the way he says it, I'm like,
the way he said it was
like a creepy uncle.
Yeah, it was like a 40-year-old with this mustache going like, yeah, check out 21-year-olds right out of college.
Like, come on, I'll show you how to do it, Schwartzy.
You just like put your eyes on their butts. Like, it was just so weird. And Schwartz he sees a girl and he's like, is that Raquel? And Sandoval's like, do you wish it was?
No. This is where I find it so weird that like, why isn't Schwartz even pissed that he was put in this situation? His best friend is kind of hyping him up with this girl that he's already sleeping with.
So I don't want to talk about it.
I could never. I find it weird to even want to like hook up, kiss, sleep with, anything with one of my friends' like exes or interests. Like if it's just like a random one night thing, all right, whatever. But like, I already find it weird to do that like months, years after.
Yeah, and college is weird because it'd be like someone would hook up with someone on a one night thing and then your best friend would start dating him. And it was just kind of like, it's not weird, but we like both have had the same dick. Like, how does that
it's kind of weird. So like the fact that it's currently happening and he's trying to push you towards him, that would really piss me off if like you did that to me.
I would be so grossed out. I would be like, what was that hot for you? Like,
what was the point?
Do you just want to hook up with me? Like, what's your thought?
Yeah, are you in love with me?
Are you obsessed with me? Okay, so we got the boat. Someone that we don't know asked Raquel what happened with Lala, and Raquel's basically like, I could be such a bitch right now to Lala, but I'm not gonna because that's Lala energy. And I was
she literally said, I could have said I don't want her on this boat and she wouldn't be here. I'm like, girlie, you don't wield that much power.
No, Lala didn't want to come. Like, that could have easily fucking happened.
You could never convince me that Lala or that Raquel could go up to Scheana and say, Lala's being a bitch, like I'm really worried, or like whatever like play she would have done to not have Lala on the boat. And Scheana would have been like, you know what, you're right, Raquel. I care about you so much. So like, Lala, you're not coming.
Fuck my wedding and what I want. No, but also, could you imagine if Raquel was like, Lala, I don't want you to go on the boat? Lala would have been like, oh, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there loud and proud.
Raquel gives off toddler energy, and I just don't understand how what her viewpoint is in this world.
Also, what a bad friend to be like, hey, I know you're the bride and you really want this other person here, but like, I'm not showing up if they are.
These are the moments though where like, Raquel thinks she's like so tough and like such a bad bitch. And I'm like, you're not though. It's okay. Not everybody needs to be, but stop acting like you are, because
No,
you don't show up and perform. Don't
absolutely not.
threaten this that you could
No.
do this,
Get the
because
fuck
you
out.
could not.
So then Allie and Lala talk. Allie's feeling better after last night. Lala said, she's dealt with a lot of men, when she was just like this, but she wants Allie to maintain her power. And
Yeah.
Allie's like, yeah, I love James, but last night was eye-opening. And Lala tells her, like, last night was tame compared to what we've seen. And Lala reminds Allie, like, you're not responsible for the way James acts. And then Lala starts to get really emotional because she feels like she needs to protect Allie because she's been through so much. Like, look at her, look at Raquel. Like, everyone has been in these situations. The red flags are literally in your face, but you have tunnel vision. You cannot see them because this person creates an illusion. And I was like, I really like this friendship. I think Allie
Me
genuinely, like,
too.
it's not like when Raquel is like, hey, Allie, watch out for James. This is like a genuine, like, Lala wants Allie to succeed in this relationship.
Because it's focused on, like, not, Lala's coming from a point of not saying, like, don't be with James, don't get involved. It's about, like, how do you maintain yourself in these moments? Like,
yeah, and make sure you're putting yourself first and you're in a healthy scenario.
Yes, I think it's coming across really well in Very Big Sister, and I think Allie really appreciates it because it's not putting or building Allie up at the expense of putting someone else down. It's just saying, like, hey, just be wary of who you are and how you move throughout this relationship. Like, put yourself first. Make sure you always know what's going on.
Yeah, I like this.
Keep awareness. And that is true in any relationship. Like, you can lose yourself in any relationship. It's just different because Randall, very toxic, has a lot of issues. James, not drawing a comparison between the two, but James can become the center of the universe so easily.
Yeah. James can be toxic. I think he's done a lot of work.
Yeah.
But we do know he has not always been
a stand-up human being.
He is toxic. Okay, so now we go back to the day club. Sandoval gets a girl for Schwartz to talk to. Because Sandoval really wants Schwartz to talk to more girls.
How old do you think this girl was?
I don't know, like 28.
I could not peg an age. I could come up with every excuse in the book, but I could not figure
40,
it out.
She's 12.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Schwartz is like, hey, I really like your sunglasses. Oh my God. And your eyebrows.
Oh my God. I do. Please don't ever comment on my eyebrows.
It was funny. And then he's like, yeah, I just got divorced. I'm a little awkward. I don't get out.
It's so loud though that he has to like keep saying things. Like I don't know if she can't hear him or she's just choosing not to acknowledge him screaming at her. I got divorced.
I love when he's like, I don't get out much. So that was funny. It's true,
you have
right?
No game and it's so funny.
This girl runs away so fast. So, okay, then we go to Villa Rosa. Ken and Lisa, we find out, are having dinner with Pandy, Jason, and their grandson. Max was not invited because he's not the favorite child.
Obviously.
Like, FYI. So Scheana, this is where I was like, no. Lisa's like, yeah, Scheana just texted me to tell me that they're having so much fun in Mexico. And I'm like, Sheena's drunk on a boat right now. I don't think she's like, you know what I got to do? Text Lisa Vanderpump.
Well, I bet Lisa did one of those infamous things where she did something and upgraded the room or did something and we just didn't see it. So then
Sheena's not a main character.
And is like, yeah, this whole wedding is happening, but we're not going to get all the little tidbits about, Lisa sprinkling her love. No. Because we don't care.
No. So yeah, Lisa basically then starts talking about how the boys are in trouble with Greg. Like, oh no. And I was like, so fuck Sheena's wedding. We're going to talk about these two lunatics.
I'm kind of annoyed that like the boys just get bailed out.
All the help.
Like, all the help they need. I feel this in my own sibling familial like relationships. I feel like no matter what my brother does, like my parents will be there to rescue him. And I'm like, my parents would rescue me too. Like if I shit the bed, but like, why can't we just be honest with them and say, you're really fucking your life up? Like, yeah, give them the like constructive criticism they need. Why are we always just waiting in the wings for men to screw up
and save the day? These people are not their parents. No, because Ken doesn't like Greg, and then Lisa's like, should we meet with Greg? Like, we need to make sure they're gonna open. And I'm like, you don't have a stake in this restaurant. No, this fuck do you care? I think this is competition.
I think you should advise them and be like good, people to them. Like, I think the sit downs that they've done with the guys are really good, but you are overstepping now into fixing their problems.
Yeah.
Like, why are you conversing with Greg and trying to fix this issue?
Yeah. And I like that Ken is like, well, these guys have no experience. Like, what was Greg thinking? A, and B, like, why would we get involved? And Lisa's like, oh, I must help.
But this is why, like, I feel like men get to operate in this world of like things will always work out because there's people behind the scenes making it work out for them.
Yeah.
Instead of like
Agreed.
Failing teaches you so many more lessons. Like they're just going to have all the confidence in the world to open their next restaurant.
I hope Schwartz
undeserved confidence in this world.
Schwartz did say on his Watch What Happens Live, he's like, yeah, the restaurant's like struggling, but he says that there are people in there, and you should come to Schwartz and Sandy's because he'll talk about this with anyone.
That was really smart of him, though.
I was like, oh, I'm showing up now.
That's the thing. I was like, that was really smart, dude. I'm about to be like, I'll sit and chat with you.
Yeah, I'm about to call your ass out on so much shit. So we got to go now.
I know.
We'll only get one appetizer and one drink, but we're gonna sit with Schwartz. And I will only do it. I will stand there and be like, I will only pay for this. I will only order I ate when it, Schwartz but comes. I'm only going to pay for it if Schwartz comes over.
Yes. I mean, that was really smart.
Okay. So we're in Mexico again. We're in Scheana's room. Cute Summer Moon is here. She's doing Scheana's makeup. She really is she's a cute kid.
Yeah, she is. She is. Yeah. And I like this little like family moment. Like Brock comes over.
Oh, I do love them. And okay, so I watched Scheana's vlog, her most recent one where Lala gets the keys to the next door house.
I saw the preview thing of that and I kind of want to watch it.
It was cute. I mean, like I did skip through a lot, but it's cute to watch like Scheana and Lala be friends. Like they're in their robes watching their girls in matching outfits like bounce on a trampoline. It was cute. And Brock really is good with like Ocean.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that this is a family unit with Lala and Ocean.
I love them including her.
Scheana's mom was there and Lala's mom was there. So it was like a full thing and they do like dinners. It was really cute.
I think this is great. Like build your own village.
I'm a big Scheana fan.
I'm a big fan. I love them in like real life. I just think Scheana I struggle with.
So tonight's the actual welcome white party. Scheana's zen. She's and she's happy that Katie and Christina Kelly are not going to come, and we're not going to get back to that moment in her first wedding when she was in a closet and she goes, I'm not zen anymore. I like that she can laugh at herself.
I'm so happy hilarious. We just watched that season.
I'm not zen anymore.
I mean, that first wedding, if anybody's new to Vanderpump and you're just catching up on this season, please go back and watch Scheana's first wedding.
Also, for all those Patreons that commented, Alicia does sound like Scheana. Get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah, that was a debate. That was a debate.
But like, actually, so many people are like, now that I hear it.
Yeah.
Do I do it really well? I'm not zen anymore. Let me know.
I think I'm just so used to you and your voice are connected in my mind since I've known you for so long. So it doesn't hit the same.
On my Zoom, I'm going to dress up like do Scheana and then I'll talk.
I think that's what I need.
Okay, great. Okay, so then we go to James's room. He reenacts all the men he dealt with to Allie. James said he was the best behaved. Because he's like down to go out with Brock and his friends and like to the gym or play soccer, but like a dinner vibe is not these men.
No, I agree. There's moments where every friend fits into your life. Yeah. And there's moments they don't.
Yeah, So Allie tells James she talked to Lala. James is upset because James feels like Lala is comparing him to Randall. And Allie's like, that's not what happened. Like she just checked in from last night. And
I'm so happy with how she like presented and kind of fought back to his narrative.
She just literally, and the calmest thing is like, that's not what happened. She just asked about last night. And James is like, oh, she's asking about last night with the pickleball and the fat man and fuck
and
Lala.
Like, should it be with James? And she's like, no, it's actually about me.
Like he goes off and literally Allie just stands there.
Like,
and James is like, I feel like Lala's not coming from a place of love. Also, Lala's throwing stones at me and whatever. And then Allie just literally just is standing there. And James goes, but I love you so much, Allie. You're the best. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're all this. He
never loved anyone like you.
And she just stares at him. She does not say.
I like that his like tantrums or whatever you want to call them don't affect her and her opinion. And I think that's what Lala wants to make sure is like, no matter what he has going on, like you're good and you. And so like this moment, I was like, you know what, she's gonna be okay.
I also love that when he's going off, she's not like, James, stop. She just stands there.
She's not concerned about him and his opinions and worries. She's just like, I'm telling you what the truth is.
And then on the other hand, when he's like doing the Schwartz, like, no, Bubba, don't cry. Like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. She's kind of like also unaffected.
Yes.
Like, I don't really give
unaffected.
a
That's a good word.
Yeah. It was so funny. So then we go to the welcome party. I don't know what the fuck Raquel's wearing, but she looks like a life-size Barbie doll.
I remember when this was in real time, I thought the same thing. I was like, what is that outfit? And
but
I didn't
Peter's
even, like,
here.
Really hate her.
Can we talk about Peter? Wait, Peter. You guys, Peter's been doing a podcast tour almost. Yeah. Listen, I have not listened because this is about to be the most insane podcast. He is on Kristen Doute's podcast.
I saw a clip on TikTok. But yeah, and I didn't actually listen.
I'm gonna listen because Peter hated Kristen in like season 1.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
Hated
Suck it.
So I'm so excited to see these two because Peter, he's not technically really under contract.
Yeah.
He basically said like in the first episode, right, when the cast got it to watch, Sandoval texted Peter and was like, oh my God, so funny. Like, did you fuck Raquel that night at SUR? And Peter's like, I have not talked to you since August. It is now like February. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And he said that like emojis were used. Like, it was just a weird.
It was weird. And now Peter gets it.
It was so different than.
But like, the other thing was Peter's like, how are they portraying me? Because he doesn't get the episodes in advance. So Sandoval sent it to him. And Peter's like, I watched it and it was literally fine. Like there was nothing like, that's how he expected to be edited. Yeah. So he was like, I don't know why Sandoval's like freaking out. Because then Peter got worried. He's like, how am I being portrayed?
Yeah.
So like now him and Kristen were like, now we get it. And I can't wait to listen to these two. Like, oh my God. This is my dream. Okay, so meanwhile, Katie and Christina Kelly are going to grab dinner. It just so happens that their restaurant is right next door to the welcome party, and you can see directly to it.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say about all these restaurants. Most of them are going to face the pool.
Yes.
Like,
is that all you're going to say?
Smaller, well, I'm just saying, like, it is kind of unlikely that they're all not going to run into each other.
I think it's unlikely. I think, again, it looks bad.
100%.
Now, Katie kind of did that, like, we just did this for the menu, like, but like a little, interview kind of smirk. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling Bravo was like, go here, like, eat at this restaurant or whatever. I have a feeling it made it easy. It made Katie look insane.
I think it was like, oh, where are you going to eat tonight? And they were probably like, gave their 2 options. And Bravo's like, oh, we'll make sure we'll make sure the table set up. And they got the table right where the perfect view.
Yeah, it does, I think, make Lala look the worst because, again, Lala is skipping out on a wedding festivity to go sit with Scheana's mortal enemy.
Direct eye line. This isn't like Lala's running 30 minutes late because she got drinks with Katie and Christina Kelly.
No, she fully misses this whole party.
Chose to eat dinner with them.
And she's in white. And Katie and Christina are in black. So they're clearly not going to the party. Mm-hmm. I thought Lala was going to get up and leave, maybe.
I thought she was going to sit down with them, chat with them for a while, and then go to the party.
No. So yeah, so it looks bad, but whatever. They're going to do it. So Scheana spots them from the welcome party. She's a little pissed, but she's like, whatever. Raquel then does this Muppet impression I didn't understand.
I was so confused on the point of this. There was no benefit. She looked a little DNS.
But her sleeves did look like the Muppets, weirdly enough. So they're sitting at dinner, and Katie, Christina, and Lala sitting at dinner, and they're like doing that angry thing where they're like pissed, but they're like talking themselves up. Like, when your ex breaks up with you and you're like, but I'm hot. Like, I'm hot. Why would he do that? They start doing that and they're like, we have good energy. I don't know who would tell us we don't. We have the best energy.
Because at the welcome party, Scheana's like, I bet they're talking shit. And they're like, I mean, like, it's not like we're going to sit here and talk shit. I mean,
we have good energy.
We don't care. This just happened.
We don't even care. And I was like, this is so fucking.
Alicia's sitting there with her hands literally locked on the table. Like, that is, you're right. Like the way they're sitting too. They're like,
it looks bitter. It looks crazy, horrible, bitter. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was so funny of like this whole like, we're not even mad we're not at this party. Like,
I don't want to be there anyway.
We have better shit to do. Like, we're for free gonna watch these fire people.
Kind of can't imagine Katie going to, like, this wedding happening and everybody being invited. Like, I actually really am enjoying the, like, have and have nots, the invited people, the people not going to the wedding.
I think
like,
it's hilarious.
It's actually playing really nice.
Yeah, on TV it looks great. So, okay, we're at the dinner. Christina Kelly says she had a conversation with Scheana. And I wish we saw more of it because on Shenanigans, I listened to the one, it was before Scandal, it was with Lala and Christina Kelly. And Christina Kelly and Scheana talk about how they had this conversation. It went really well. And now they consider themselves friends. Like, they've even said, we're not the best of friends, but like, Christina's like, I'm very excited to go on my journey of like becoming a mother, and I'm going to turn to you, Scheana. And Sheena's like, I am so happy. I'm here to support. Like, they clearly came to an understanding, and they said it was in Mexico. I'm like, Scheana was like, I'm so excited for them to see this conversation. Christina agreed. We don't see any of it.
Yeah.
Which makes me so like mad.
A slight little flashback, don't we? Like, we just see them sitting down talking.
Yes. And I wanted to see it because they were like, this was such a good, productive conversation.
I wonder, does Bravo do like bonus clips, like unseen? I like sometimes wish they would like release this extra footage, where I'm like, yes, I get it. This isn't integral to this storyline, and you only have so much time to fit stuff in, but like, it'd be nice to have like a bonus.
I have a feeling they were both disappointed because this would have been before they got the episode, and they were talking about it like it was so good for our friendship. Like, look at us now. And Christina Kelly was like, I feel like I judged you and I misunderstood you from the beginning. And Sheena's like, I didn't really give you a chance because you were friends with people who like put me down. It was great. It was so fun to listen to them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so mad we didn't get it. Anyway. Christina Kelly basically tells Scheana in the clip we get that like Sheena's never done anything to Christina Kelly, and she feels like she never gave Scheana a chance. And I think it ends well. You know, they're friends, or they're at least acquaintances at this point in Mexico. And Katie's like, I don't like love this, but whatever. And then Christina Kelly's like, I just felt like Scheana was holding on to stuff from 7 years ago, and I wanted to clear the air. And Katie goes, I feel bad you had to have this conversation. And I was like, no, I think Christina's happy it happened.
Katie is in so much hatred that she can't be like neutral or like happy for other people's friendships.
Yeah. But Christina Kelly's very happy about this.
Yeah, I think this was really big. I feel like Christina Kelly instigated it, made the talk happen. She did.
She was with,
And I think that's really huge of her. Maybe not the right time because it's like Sheena's whole wedding weekend.
I actually think this was the right time to be like, hey, I didn't like realize I didn't come here with all this beef. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna make fun of you. I didn't mean to like come to your first welcome dinner and like crash
That's true. Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but I appreciated this. I think this was very adult. And I like that Scheana also can be like, we're good. Come on my podcast. You know, like they're cool. They're cool. Come on my podcast. Like when Brock told James, come on the podcast. Like, you got beef? Jesus. Come here.
Yeah. Air the beef on the podcast, please.
So to the welcome party, which is 2 feet away, we got the fire people and the water drums, and James and Allie are dancing, and he goes, we should do our spinny thing. And Allie goes, what's our spinny thing? And James gets so upset that she doesn't know what the spinny thing is. And then he does it, and she's just kind of like,
what?
That was just dancing, I think. And it was so fucking funny how indifferent Allie is in this, where I was like, she doesn't like love him. She might like him. It's the opposite of Schwartz.
Yeah,
she likes him. She doesn't love him. She's like, whatever.
Well, I just constantly worry that James wants to, in front of the camera, be like, everything's perfect, everything's great, we are like bonded, we have these things, and Allie's like, I like that Allie's unwilling to play into this like game.
Yeah, he wants it almost seems like he wants to be straight out of the Notebook. Like, look how cute we are, we have spinny things. And Allie's like, so I was hungover and puking this morning, but like we're not cute. Like, we're not a cute couple. We don't
have a fucking spinning thing. Like, what are we, 7?
Yeah, we literally hang out, have sex, and watch like
like this isn't Love is Blind on Netflix. We can dance. Why don't you just say, will you dance with me? Like, cut the crap.
Hey, do our spinny thing. Okay, so at this welcome party, Ariana, Tom, Brock, and Scheana all sit on this table in the pool. And they talk about how it's not even the wedding yet. Can you believe how much fun we're having?
No.
Okay. Then cut to dinner. Christina, Kelly, and Katie are gonna find a bar. Katie wants to turn up. Lala doesn't know if she has the energy to do the welcome party. And I was like, Lala, you should stop by, girl. You
Well,
should.
also like stop saying this shit to Katie, who like
Who hates, I think that's the other thing is Scheana's like, when you hang out with Katie, I know you're gonna talk shit about me. And Lala's like,
yeah.
nah. But she's talking shit on something that's important to Scheana.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay, so back to the welcome party. Scheana, because okay, Lala at dinner is like, Scheana probably doesn't even realize I'm not there. And then we cut to the welcome party, and Sheena's like, I know Lala's not here.
I can fucking see her
I
right
see
now.
So Sheena's annoyed that Katie and Christina Kelly are like literally watching them because this was the one thing she asked, please don't do.
Yes.
And they're doing it. And so then they talk about the Bubba's fight at dinner. Schwartz comes over and Sheena's like, Schwartz, I want you to make out with someone at the wedding. And this is where I'm like, Scheana,
this is
fire.
Yes, like she is instinct, like she's helping make this happen.
I don't think they both realize there's a giant bonfire and her and Katie keep adding fuel to it, like on opposite sides. They're both like chuck,
and they think like they're being sneaky and the other person isn't seeing them add to the thing. No, but they're both telling each other, no, we don't want this fire to keep burning.
It's like a mutual, like, who's adding fuel to this fire?
And then, who would do that? And then they like chuck something in.
Both of them need to fucking stop.
I don't think they realize like how much it's hurting the other person because they won't admit it to the other person. Like, you're really hurting me right now.
Yeah, on both ends. Yeah. It's just like insane. Do I think Scheana started it first and needs to apologize first? Yes. But do I think Katie does owe Scheana some sort of apology? Also, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Raquel comes over immediately. It's like she hears Schwartz make out and she's like,
me?
But also, we know that she's hooking up with fucking Sandoval.
She's literally about to sleep with Sandoval tomorrow. Like, her position in this also really weirds me out. You will never catch me hooking up with two friends.
So weird.
At the same time. Like, maybe it'll happen down the road, but.
So weird. Yeah, when one of them dies and then it becomes manifest.
Yeah. No body, no boy.
No hookup. So Ariana is basically like, what does she say? Oh, she goes, you only really like to make out with people when you're married, huh, Schwartz? Because he's like not down to make out right now.
A weird nervous. I'm getting the same vibes of him at the day club earlier. It's like he's awkward and uncomfortable, especially like when people like try to set him up, he's not good at it.
If a girl sticks her tongue down my throat, I guess I'll like make out with her then. But like, I'm not gonna make
someone who's more aggressive. Like,
I only date girls with good eyebrows.
Oh God.
And then
Katie does have good eyebrows.
Ariana's like, you seem to make out with plenty of people when you're married, and he's like, okay. So then they want to hear about what happened last night, and Schwartz is like, it was supposed to be closure. And he's like, Katie's still my girl, you know? And everyone is like, stop.
Yeah.
This is, stop calling her Bubba. Stop saying she's your girl. Stop. Because then when Schwartz is like, Katie can't tell me what to do, then she's not your girl.
Yeah, that's also a thing is like, I think they see how dumb this is. Like, I know you hate this too.
I hate it.
And I think that's their point of view. It's like, this isn't actually happening. So just stop saying like you guys are like ride or dies.
Stop. You can't be ride or dies with your ex.
But I do understand him saying like, I don't want other people to tell me like how I should be in this relationship.
If you and Katie, if they actually had like a healthy friendship after this divorce, I'd be all about it. But this is so unhealthy. The fact that they still call each other bub, the fact that Katie is still expecting Schwartz to like stick up for her, I think that's on Schwartz, but she can't expect it. He didn't do it in marriage. He's not going to do a post-marriage.
Yeah.
Stop expecting anything.
They're setting themselves up for failure.
Yes. Do not expect shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Schwartz is like, I feel attacked. Everyone's telling me what to do. And Sandoval gets really fucking up in arms. Yeah. No more food tastings. She's not welcome at Schwartz and Standy's. Fuck her. And like, I was like,
this is what's not cool. It's like you making boundaries for Schwartz.
Because Schwartz is even like, I thought she did really well at the food tasting.
I think it was a really civil, like that was a good moment. Like, and it was kind of like a peace offering moment, and it went really, really well.
And Schwartz even says something like, yo, this is Ariana's business partner. Like, calm down. And Sandoval's like, I don't give a fuck. She's not ours. And then Schwartz, like, I think he says it really well. He's like, I'm still allowed to care about Katie.
Yes.
Which is true. You should care about this person
and
you
why
dated
doesn't
for 12 years.
Schwartz's opinions why doesn't he get 50% just like you do, Sandoval? Like Ariana came and did a tasting. Granted, I understand they're not in the same type of relationships, but Schwartz bringing whoever he wants to a tasting should be respected in some way.
It should be very normal. And I would be offended if Schwartz didn't care about Katie. I think they care too much, or they're trying to hold on to something that's not viable.
Like they haven't found their healthy,
but you're still going to be
other's life.
Yeah, you're still going to be heartbroken if something happens to that person.
Yeah.
Like you still want
like
them to
we don't
succeed.
need to go this far to then like the opposite side.
We don't need to help them succeed. We just want them to succeed. Like, you know, it's like a healthy boundary. Okay, so back to dinner. Lala's still talking to Don, that guy from like Havasu. She's skeptical about people, whatever. And then you see Schwartz like spying from behind a pole or something.
So fucking weird.
And Christina Kelly's like, hey, Schwartz,
what do you want?
So he comes over and he's like, hey, Christina Kelly, Lala, can you guys do earmuffs? And they're like, no. We're over 30.
No, what? You want me to literally put hands on? I'm going to listen anyways. This is dumb.
It's like kids. You could be like earmuffs, and it's like fun game.
Still don't believe kids are gonna do that. So like, what?
But like, if you tell me to put my hands over my ears, they're going right behind, so I could still hear fucking. Yeah,
I'm gonna be actually making sure I can hear better.
I'm doing Dumbo ears at this point. And so Schwartz is like, I was just gonna talk about like my super long armpit hair to see if Katie could trim it.
What?
And Katie's like, I'm not gonna trim your armpit hair.
This is my problem, is he treats her like shit and then just kind of expects her to be there whenever he needs her. He did that in the relationship.
Wifey things like this, so weird.
We are not this close anymore.
Also, you could easily just trim your own armpit hair.
Yeah, you also access it. Why do you need to?
Why are you so fucking scared of your long armpit hair?
I don't know anyone who trims it.
Just shave it off if you hate it.
Also, tomorrow you're just gonna be wearing like a white shirt.
Is it gonna be see-through? Like, I'm like, what is his armpit hair now? So Schwartz says like maybe he's being too clingy, and I was like, this is a different level of like weirdness.
I don't even know what this is.
And then Katie, of course, she's still pissed, and she's like, go ask Brock, your best friend of 3 days. And I was like, go ask Sandoval, your best friend.
Go ask any of these people.
Ariana would probably do it for you. Just ask.
Anybody would save the day for Schwartz and his stupid long armpit hair.
Lisa will do it from LA.
Yeah.
So Schwartz leaves and the girls are like, what the fuck's wrong with him? And everyone's like, he's just drunk and uncomfortable and in pest mode is what Katie calls it. Pest mode.
That's
great. Yeah. So weirdly, they all feel really bad when he walks off. And even Christina Kelly is like, I hate that I felt bad that he like walked off like a sad dog. And Katie's like, this is it. No one feels bad for me, but everyone feels bad for Schwartz. And I was like,
he's just like a mopey little being that, you do instantly feel bad. But for Katie, you don't feel bad until she sheds a tear.
Yeah, agreed. Why? I truthfully did not feel bad for Schwartz in this moment. I was like,
no, but I see how see how people react, because the way he slinks off is you're like, oh, I didn't mean to like roast you, but like with any other person you would be able to operate that way and be like, shut up, I'm not cutting your stupid arm hair. Yeah. And they would just walk away and be like, I'm sorry, you know?
Yeah. So back to the welcome party. Raquel tells Schwartz they should go on the swing, and instead they go to this like little romantic table, and Schwartz is like, hey, are you seducing me? And so they both feel uncomfortable because everyone's pushing them together, but he kind of wants to do it just because everyone's pushing them together.
I think it's gotten to a point where like, I can see this. Where you're like, we might as well make something of it.
It's in their heads so much
that they've envisioned it, I bet.
Katie is like mad at it and nothing's happened, that they're like, should we at least give her like a reason to be mad type thing?
It's a don't press the red button situation. Like now that you're being told so many times not to do something, you're like,
gonna do it.
Okay, I kind of like this idea now.
Yeah. Also, Schwartz doesn't like that he's getting all these restrictions, and like it's now this thing. They both are like, can't stop thinking about it. So Raquel says she's attracted to Schwartz because he's sweet, kind, and has a great sense of humor. And this is where her interview, I was like, you cannot convince me that you even cared about this man. You did this
am
for
so
fucking clout. You did it for some
yes.
clout.
Yes.
So then the kiss, when I tell you this kiss was I almost died. I would rather watch Lindsay and Carl be in a nurse's outfit than watch this kiss.
I am so annoyed. This is what the world, and Katie has said this, come out after being like, this is what I was pissed about. Give me something good. Actually commit to it. If you're gonna really like piss people off, go for it.
They like stop talking, and then Schwartz is like, Raquel. She looks at him, and they slowly like
peck.
Like, oh my God, over this table. It felt like 45 minutes to reach each other's lips. And it was just bad. And then it got super weird because there's tongue, and I was
like again, over a table.
And
why do people think you can kiss over a table?
And then people were cheering, and I was like, oh.
It was weird though, because at some point it felt like it was the second time the cheering happened. It felt like it was dubbed in.
Also, yeah, can we talk about the table? People are in like you're leaning forward, but like in a squattish like, is it? Oh,
and that was like a high top small table. I understand when you're at dinner and you're like dating and you just like peck each other over a table because you like don't want to get up. Fine,
but this
whatever.
Was a big makeout.
Your first kiss over it? No, you will never catch me doing this.
We threw in tongue. Like we were. Oh, it was bad. It was
like just get up and walk over to her.
And then we
like get a good kiss in.
So I'm pissed, and then we get a to be continued, which makes me more pissed.
Stop. No one cares. Fucking to be continued.
There is nothing in this season that's going to shock us anymore. Just give it to us. Like at this point, we know what's going to happen. Just tell us. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Should we do accepted and blocked?
Let's do it.
And then we'll do podcast by the people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Meredith, who are you accepting? Who are you blocking? Who do you not want on your feed? Who do you want more of?
I'm gonna block Katie. I'm actually not loving her negativity because like I'm enjoying this wedding and like it's becoming really petty, and like her comments to Christina Kelly about like, I can't believe you're gonna go talk to Scheana. It just, I understand it. She's very valid in all of her feelings. I'm just not enjoying watching it right now. I mean, I do love the like at the wedding people and like us going back and forth between the two parties, but yeah, Katie's just not winning me over this episode.
Oh man, no, I thought you were gonna pick someone different because I have like 5 people.
No.
Okay, this is a hot one.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna block Lala because
she was the one on my mind.
I understand that Scheana has 20,000 things planned.
Yeah.
But Lala has said, I'm going to go to the big open parties where there's lots of people, and she just won't. And I understand that's not her safe space and she wants to set boundaries, but like you just sit there and Scheana can see you sitting there.
I know.
And you kind of are talking shit on shit that's important to Scheana.
You're not being a good friend right now at a really important event. And these are the moments where it sucks. Like I love being selfish in my life, and I love that I've like built my life to be about me, but these are the moments that you need to put yourself at second place and really prioritize a friendship.
Who are you accepting?
This is tricky. I feel like nobody like won me over so incredibly. I don't know. Do you have yours?
I want to do Vladimir the waiter, but I'm not gonna do that.
Gold star to Vladimir this week.
I'm gonna do, and I think I have accepted her in the past, but I just really like her.
Allie.
I've
been thinking about her, but I just didn't know.
Well, you've been saving Scheana. You keep saying I want to do Scheana, and I still won't. You could do Brock for wearing the lover boy hat.
You know what? I really did love Brock this episode.
Allie and Brock, we're giving it to the +1.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Brock. I think he's like, I am really loving his role this season now, and I think time away really did help. But like, even though he's not my cup of like, I don't think I would thrive in this like day party.
He knows
he's living it up. He is, right in the middle of everything in such a great way. He was sticking up for Scheana when Lala like maybe wasn't going to go on the party. I love how he handled that situation. It was definitely a delicate one to converse about, but I think he really does have Sheena's back. I think he's an awesome dad. I love seeing that moment with Scheana, Summer, and he comes home from the day club. Like, I just think they're a cute, really cute family, and I'm excited about this marriage.
I agree. Okay, let's do podcast by the people.
Let's do it.
Okay, Tierney, and I think this has to do with Ariana's reunion look. She
Oh,
goes, hot as fuck. Can we talk about her abs? I feel like a
I
damn fat ass. Oh
weirdly,
my God,
I
her
kind of wish they
abs.
didn't release it. Like, I kind of wish I got it the minute we tuned into the
They keep
reunion.
hyping up this reunion
I
that we're not
know.
going to see until literally next year, it
People are
feels like.
saying now May 31st. I think that's a month or a Wednesday. That people are saying that's the first reunion
I think so
episode.
too. That's what Lala said.
Mhm.
Okay, Jackie said best revenge dress ever. Wondering how awkward the wedding will be and looking for Scandival clues. Me too. Next
Yeah.
episode, there is a preview I saw on TikTok where Tom keeps like saying Raquel, 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 and Ariana's like,
Schwartz or
Tom,
Sandoval?
oh, sorry, Sandoval is like Raquel, Raquel, like trying to hang out with her, and they're sitting next to each other. And Ariana turns and is like, Tom, what is with you? Stop saying Raquel, Raquel, Raquel. Why are you doing that? And Sandoval and Raquel laugh. Like they giggle to each other.
Gross.
So everyone be on the lookout for that.
Weird random reunion question. Typically, they're always on those like bar stools, like they're higher up
Yeah.
seats. Do you think they are with all these long dresses? I'm like, they kind of need to be on couches, kind of like housewives.
I think they're gonna be on the bar stools.
I, I like want them to get
But Summer
more.
House was on a couch.
They've always, I think, been lower. Weirdly, Vanderpump has always been on bar
Because they were
stools.
at a bar. They
That's
work at
true.
a
The background
bar.
used to be like a fake sir.
Sir, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Tracy says this episode was a reminder how awful Schwartz can be. Oh my God, like beyond. He is definitely a gaslighter. He's so mean to Katie. There was no reason for him to say that she was partly to blame on Rachel and Scheana hating her. And then he
No.
had the audacity to ask Katie to trim his armpit hair. She's still expecting, or he's still expecting wife actions, even though they're divorced.
I think I just tune him out at this point. Like
I
that's
was
why I
gonna
didn't
say,
block him.
why didn't I block him? I think because I genuinely hate him so much. I'm just kind of like, fuck
He
him.
just falls into the background
Like I don't
for me
even want to
now.
give him extra time to talk
Exactly.
about. Great. So we're fuck him. If you want to
He's
hear us talk about him,
not
go
even
to
in
our
the selection pool.
yeah,
That's
go
how
to
much
our
I don't care about
go
him.
to our pre-show. We fucking talk about how stupid he is. Kelsey says, from an entertainment perspective, 10 out of 10. This episode gave us everything
Mhm.
from James Neanderthal impressions of Brock, a classic Schwartz shitstorm, Rachel impersonating Muppets, and an aggressive amount of white themed events. Quotations. I'm a July 2023 bride, so I feel like I could have a thought on that. Oh my God. Yeah, are you gonna do all white? What's
Yeah,
your
are you gonna
thoughts?
have 4 welcome parties? Everybody buy out every
Kelsey,
white available.
don't give us a lot of information about your wedding because we will show up. Instead, if you could just tell us what your events planned are
Yeah,
and
give us the
how
details,
intense
not the
they are.
dates.
Like are there dress codes for the bachelorette party? Like what's the vibe? Can you tell me everything?
I'm hating that a theme of weddings lately is that like there's dress like codes of colors.
Yeah,
Like
I
they give
have
you a color palette to dress in, and I think that's so ridiculous.
one of my friends for a wedding got a mood board and you're supposed to pick a dress for the bridesmaids off like this mood board. And I
No.
was like, no. Listen, I'm going to a bachelorette party where the theme is like Lover Taylor Swift and I am being told what to wear. And so it's kind of stupid, but
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
like
in that boat. I was just told to wear pink, so at least I just have one color, and I'm not a pink
I
girly.
was just told do not wear white ever. And I was like, listen,
Thank
my whole
you.
closet though is like neutral tone. So it's white, black, or
Hmm.
tan. So I gotta get rid of the creams.
I
I'm in all
rented
black.
a dress from Newly
Oh, that's great.
Rentals.
That's
10
nice.
out of 10 recommend.
Okay, Kelsey also says, I feel like we can all see how shitty Schwartz is this episode. Like truly horrible, but what really annoyed me was how grody his glasses were from splashing the water at the welcome party. This man was going in for the kiss with Rachel and probably couldn't even see her face. That's why
Bro,
he moves so slow.
it's everything about it. As if I were in Raquel's position, I would not want any of this, but it shows how much she doesn't care about him because she's
Yeah.
banging Sandoval on the side.
She also goes, so when she's like, he probably couldn't even see her face. Could have been Brock for all he knows. Brock was that
Oh
beautiful Speedo girl.
my God.
Just disgusting personal
Brock would
hygiene.
never do this. A kiss like
Brock would
this.
never kiss Schwartz. He's committed in his
No, I mean
marriage.
like I don't think Brock would kiss over a table like this as a first
No,
kiss.
Brock's
Brock
very
has
committed
standards.
to his marriage. just disgusting personal hygiene, i.e., armpit trimming. Thank God Katie's gotten rid of this specimen.
Seriously.
Literally so gross. Okay, Sarah, pre-episode's thoughts. Sorry, I missed it. But okay. Ariana's revenge dress had my eyes falling out. I almost couldn't believe that I was looking at. She looks smoking hot. I hope the cast has dental insurance. I reckon teeth would have been cracked from how hard their jaws must have hit the floor. Honestly, mine hit the floor pretty hard.
Same.
Okay, last week and asking about what I thought of Brock last season. I couldn't, because she's Australian.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand him. I thought there were many times where I shook my head because I felt like he was giving Aussies a bad rap. I didn't like how he handled matters with his family. I didn't like how he talked about shopping for Scheana's ring and then talked about splitting it among multiple cards. I don't really like those sort of people. I think they're too different from me to be able to really get along with. Alrighty, on to main thoughts. I think Brock has come back though. I mean,
I think we're not seeing like these weird moments. And that's Brock. I don't think there's as many, like those are very isolated moments that you only do like once and hopefully
also,
once in your life.
You had Lala really shedding light, and even she now is like, it's not black and white.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really know what was happening. Okay, but Sarah says, overall, this week's episode was quite good. The action that started to ramp up, and we had a big thing go down at the very end. But before we get there, things Rachel had the audacity to do this week.
Let's hear it.
1, thinking she was entitled to not have Lala on the boat if she wanted. Bitch, please. That was wild. Number 2, inserting herself very obviously into the who should Schwartz make out with conversation.
Gross. Get out of here.
Ugh. And 3, talking about what attracts her to Schwartz in her confessional, given that she's hooked up with Sandoval.
Yeah, by the time she does the confessional, they're in an affair.
They're in an affair. But can you imagine if when taping the confessional, she decided she'd be clever and say, quote, this is what that attracts me to Tom, unquote. I think all of us would have fallen out of our chairs. Oh my God. Yeah. If she was like, I really love Tom. Let me tell you why. We would have been like, which one?
Oh my God.
Meredith's jaw did hit the ground. She needs dental insurance.
I like in high school, I had friends with the same name. And so people would always be like, oh, which one? And like, I'm imagining if somebody in my friend group was hooking up with one of them, talking secretly about the other.
Yeah.
And we all just assumed it was one, but it was really the other. It's so sly, sneaky, and like, it's just gross.
It's gross. Okay, I was almost concerned that I have nothing to put on Rachel's list this week because we barely saw her at first until I considered that a Rachel-less episode may not have been a bad thing. Most of the focus was on Schwartz after all, and I almost felt compelled to make a Schwartz audacity list. But at the end of the day, he's not the true villain pulling the puppet string. So True. I think he is a villain though. He's awful.
He's a villain in his own life, but
he's not. I guess he is hurting someone, whatever. So things Tom Sandoval had the audacity to do this week. That BS about true power and being able to do something and not doing it. Honestly, I know sometimes I write this list to take the piss, but the actual fucking audacity of this moment.
Yeah, that one was a real what the fuck moment.
2, saying he quote unquote is optimistic about any relationships ever at the Brock stag party. Like, you're optimistic about you and Ariana or you and Rachel?
Ooh.
3, quote, me and Ariana like check girls out all the time, unquote. He'd never have this affair, or if he'd never had this affair, I think he would have championed this, but instead the red flag of hindsight went up like that. Yeah, I'm sure he said it and was like, fuck, I'm really teetering this.
I don't think so, because I think he really believes that. And I think Ariana doesn't have a problem with that. I think it's not weird to say you check other people out because you're just being honest. Like, you're going to do it anyways.
Yeah. Okay. 4, lightning bolt necklace at the white party. Ugh.
We haven't seen Raquel in it yet, right?
No, it's when Raquel comes in.
Yeah, like, but still, like,
still gross.
Raquel is currently falling in love with the lightning bolt necklace.
5, saying he doesn't want Katie at food tastings anymore. Okay, fair enough. But then 6, saying he doesn't want Katie around at all. This is actually incredibly offensive. You're on a TV show. She's in the same group. She's not fucking going anywhere. And she's friends with your now girlfriend at the time, but like now, like at the time, yeah, she's friends with Ariana
and business partners.
Mm-hmm. Okay, other thoughts on the episode. I thought it was really dirty of Scheana to make Rachel deliver the bad news to Katie about where she couldn't go. I also don't believe she was joking either,
I don't
because
either.
surely you'd admit it was a joke almost immediately.
Yeah, and I think
Probably,
Rachel's
but
very impressionable that it's like Scheana probably said like, "Oh, who's gonna tell her?" And then it's like everybody said no, and so she looks at Scheana or Raquel knowing, well, if she does it, that's awesome, and if she doesn't, that's
no
fine.
skin off my back. Yeah.
Mhm.
The budgie smugglers, so the speedos,
Yeah.
with Brock's drag face. Oh my god, it was Brock. You guys, I thought this was a woman.
Yeah.
Them felt like very Australian larrikin thing to do. It was amusing. Do you guys use the term budgie smugglers in
No,
America? No,
we call
they're
them
called
speedos.
speedos. We use it instead of speedos if the bulgy, oh, it's bulgy smuggler, sorry, if the bulgy is quite prominent, because it looks like a guy has shoved his bulgy down the front.
Oh,
Oh, do you guys use the term larrikin? No,
no,
I'm
what is
about to
that?
look it up.
I think
Larrikin
if
slang.
anybody's joking about a speedo, they'd call it like a banana hammock.
It's an Australian term of unknown origin. Oh, hang on. We don't know where it originated. It signifies a group of hoodlum or hooligan in the impressionable subculture.
Oh my god!
Oh
Say the
my
word
god.
again.
He's a hoodlum or a hooligan. It's larrikin.
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 Okay, that's
There's
gonna
an
come into
extra
my
I.
vocabulary.
That
Can't
was
wait.
hilarious. Okay. Lisa wanted to get into the Tom's business. It was our only Lisa sighting this week, but I really don't know how I feel about it. I think she wants to get involved because she loves the Toms and is a bit protective like Mama Bear, but it's kind of not her place.
Yes.
It's a very difficult thing to sit back and do nothing and see them potentially fail, but I think it's the right thing to do. I
Agreed.
agree.
This is why are we saving men from failure?
Lala's conversation with Allie on the boat, which was hyped up in the trailers like some big truth bomb was going to be dropped. You'll touch on it in your recap, but did I miss something? Did I look away at the wrong moment? There seemed to be nothing to this conversation. It was nothing. It was just Lala like giving her 2 cents.
Yeah.
James' impression of Aussie guys hanging out together and getting turned up was so accurate. Not all guys behave like that, obviously, but it was truly hilariously accurate. Yeah, James is very posh, which was like not Brock's group of Australian rugby friends.
It was hilarious
It
to see
was
the
so
juxtaposition of these two types of human beings.
I've heard that these are the dudes on like Love Island Australia or like Love Island UK, where it's very like, hey boys, what's up? It's just not my thing. No,
No,
you don't see this on Love Island.
I don't watch the Australian one.
Oh, these are the dudes that are they're like,
I tried to and I couldn't get through the first one, like half of the season. I hated it so much.
These are these dudes. I understand Lala getting overwhelmed by the rumor of events that Scheana had. I thought, or by the number of events Scheana had. I thought maybe Scheana had organized everything, but maybe not informed everyone of everything ahead of time. I think my social battery would have been depleted with so many high energy events to go to. I agree, but you kind of prep, right? You're like, this is it. I just got to make it through.
I think the only one not really communicated well was the first dinner, but that one was so much more informal that it's just different. I think Scheana expected everyone else to constantly at all hours be focused on her, which is a lot to ask. And kind of unrealistic.
Rachel's Muppet impersonation was actually very funny. I didn't want to enjoy it because of Scannaball, but I did. Did you? I didn't get it. Whatever. Maybe I missed the mark. Okay. Schwartz hiding around with only Christina Kelly seeing him was very endearing, and all that underarm hair. I know Schwartz thinks he's been a great husband, laughable, and is doing an even better as an ex-husband, debatable, but I've always found him very endearing. That being said, I've suspected for a while that it's the Schwartz on TV that I find endearing. We've seen moments here and there throughout the entire show, and I think that they reveal Schwartz isn't really nice as he otherwise appears to be. That's the problem, right? Schwartz is endearing and like,
yeah,
Great.
We excuse so much of his behavior.
Yeah. I have a note here that just says, quote, Scheana getting pissed and nothing else. It was probably about the white party. She can't get over herself. Next. I get it. It's her wedding. I get it.
But in normal life, like people's behavior like that, it just
Yeah.
it winds me up.
Okay, the Schwartz and Rachel kiss. Pretty sure I saw him slip her the tongue.
Yes.
Or tried to. I didn't see it from
It's
her end.
weird.
Yeah. Okay, that's it from this week. I designated a cross stitch pattern of Ariana in her pink to green dress, and I'm busy stitching it because I want to post it before the reunion. I hope you both have a wonderful Easter. Oh my God. Thank you, Sarah. You too. Okay, Tyranny has one last thought. This is the last one. Okay. Tyranny says, okay, I'm providing my thoughts during my second viewing, and yes, I needed to watch again. I'm going to start with the Bubba dinner. First off, Schwartz, no one gives a fuck about you and the name you've given as Bubba. Second, that poor hostess. She just wanted to do her job and burn the damn slides. Stop gaslighting Katie. You definitely ruined the dinner by telling Katie that she was to blame for Scheana and Rachel. Get the fuck out of here. Look, is Katie a saint? Hell no. Do I think staying at the hotel was probably the best idea? Also no. However, Schwartz, you are proving why you are a jackass.
Yeah.
Great recap.
Agreed on all of that.
Oh, James, I love that you bring the drama, but damn boy, pick your battles and pick a fight with Lala. Shake my head. He's not gonna win.
He doesn't like anybody critiquing him at all.
No. Scheana girl, it's your wedding, so I will attempt to cut you some slack, but we already know you're a bridezilla. I'm glad you talked to Lala and why did we need Brock, aka the Scheana whisper, to interpret what Scheana was feeling? Oh, I thought that was good that Brock got involved.
I think it was good too, because I think he was just trying to really explain why this was hurting Scheana, because Scheana gets so emotional. I don't think she does a good job of it herself. So I think he was being a really good partner. Yeah. And they have the friendship. The three of them have the friendship to discuss, I think, this type of stuff.
Katie hanging up on Schwartz was just great. I laughed out loud. Fuck you, Rachel. You got too much enjoyment out of telling Katie she can't be around because Scheana didn't want her there. All that was basically to tell Katie what to do. And did she really explain what the swim up bar is? Oh my God, I hate her so much. I've lost any attempt at having my blinders on. Yep, that's done.
She just has no awareness.
Yay, a drunk Ariana sighting. That's my favorite whenever it happens. Do you think Scheana made them all wear white for the bachelor party or bachelorette party? Yes.
One person wasn't in white though.
Ariana was wearing purple.
Yeah.
Because that's totally something I could see her doing. Katie and Christina Kelly at the preferred area. Haha, such a Katie thing to do. I love that about her. What the fuck are the guys wearing? I'm with James in the talking head. I don't get it. It's an Australian thing. Can someone explain to me why Rachel thinks she could have kicked Lala off the boat? Not sarcasm either. I'm genuinely curious. Does she think that Scheana would have done that? No.
It bothers me that Raquel always thinks she is this tough chick around when Lala, Katie, when she's not directly talking to them. Behind their back, she acts like this tough ass bitch. And it's like, girl, you're scared to even say 10 words in front of them.
Ellie's really growing on me. I think she's a good addition to the show. She seems to like she's her own person, which is difficult when dating someone like James and around people with big personalities. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are the editors trying to paint Schwartz in a good light? Yeah, always. And that's why they spend so much time on the bachelor party, because all it did was annoy me because he's such a douche. Yeah, they love Schwartz in the good light. He's always gotten good at it.
I think we just didn't notice it beforehand. Because
he's endearing. He's endearing.
And so they just roll with it because he's kind of a neutral. In the past, he's just kind of like a neutral.
But him and Sandoval do get pretty good edits usually.
Yeah.
How much is Lisa and Ken going to get themselves involved with Schwartz and Sandy's? I love how much they care, but don't meddle, Lisa.
Yes.
No, get out. Okay, the white party. I don't have overly much to say about this. Katie, Christina, and Lala sitting at the restaurant. I probably would have stayed too, especially after that Rachel thing, not being allowed at the preferred areas. Ha. I think it just looked bad. It looked like you were stalking them.
Yeah, especially their seats were faced towards the party.
It was crazy. That's the best fuck you could have given. Rachel's talking head dress makes her look like a fucking Muppet. Maybe she should get with Austin and they can have Muppet babies. Oh, please.
God.
God, I need them both off my TV. And finally, the forced kiss. Gross. I hated every minute of it.
Me
I just can't
too.
with these two. Love you, ladies. Have a great holiday weekend, everyone. P.S. I know not everyone watched What Happens Live yet when I type this, but oh my God, I need to discuss it like ASAP. Schwartz needs media training, but he shared a piece of info to help with the timeline of Scandival. They first hooked up in August, and Schwartz kept calling it a one night stand. So it was the Vegas/boys night weekend.
It had to be.
Go check out our pre-show. We talk about it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. This was so fun. Do all the things, leave us a review for 5 stars to cancel out our 2-star immature one.
Please.
But yes, next week, please keep in mind it's gonna be a little rough.
The next 2 weeks are a little bumpy.
2 weeks will be bumpy, but we will get to all your thoughts from the previous episode.
Thanks so much for joining.
Bye.
Bye.